In today's video, I'm going to be redoing my little pressure washer wall setup here. And in order to do that, I figured it would be a great opportunity to kind of highlight two pressure washer mount with hose reels. So right here we have the BigBoi unit. This has been great. I've been running it for, I don't know, a year probably, and it's been fantastic. Now I do have this piece of wood on here just because I'm running my Quiver pressure washer here, which is completely naked right now. It's still a test unit, and I needed it to be a bit wider. We'll talk about dimensions here in a little bit. But we're gonna be comparing that to the ACTUIVE pressure washer wall mount. Fantastic looking unit here as well. So we're gonna be comparing price, components, what it's made of, overall build quality, and all the storage options that both these have. Now, as you guys can see, my wall setup is functional. It gets the job done perfectly well, but it's sloppy. And now that I have my, my new TEAL QuivrFlex hose, the green really clashes. So I'm gonna be cleaning this up a bit. I'm still gonna be running my BigBoi deionizer here, and basically usually this comes with a carbon filter and then 2 DI resins. I bypassed the carbon filter completely and I added another resin filter. So I've got 1, 2, 3 DI resins in there. My blower, this thing's fantastic, by the way, guys. I absolutely love this blower from BigBoi. It comes with the hose reel and extendable hose. It's great, but I think I'm gonna move that over to this wall, to my vacuum and my air compressor side. So what I'm gonna plan on doing here is doing a SlatWall, black SlatWall, remounting the new ACTUIVE hose reel there, putting that under, and then I'll probably do shelving here to just make a really nice clean look. Now, when we talk about SlatWall, it's not cheap, but it's not terribly expensive for what you get out of it. But I'm going to be using this guy here. So this is the Vevor PVC SlatWall system. It's like 120 bucks, 125 bucks for a 4x8 section. If you compare that to the Pro SlatWall, that's the stuff that like Obsessed Garage uses. It's amazing product. So they have a few different variations though. They have their basic Pro Slat, which is 199 bucks, which is similar to this, where it's a PVC piece. But I think theirs comes in a full 8-foot section. This is technically 2 4x4 sections to make the 8x4. So I like the fact that with theirs, for a little bit more money, you get the full length. However, if you are just trying to do it on a budget, these Vevor ones are gonna be hard to beat at 125 bucks. So they're about $75 cheaper than the Pro Slat. I needed 2 of them here, so I'm saving $150. Now, if we go into the more premium range from Pro Slat, that is their Pro Slat Core, I believe, and then they have, is it aluminum inserts or something like that? So the weight per square foot capacity goes up substantially. Matt talks about that's where the line starts for him. So that's what he installs and everything. I'm sure incredible. Even those aren't like, for the extra boost of weight capacity and everything you get out of those, I think they're $250 for a 4x8, I think. So still not a bad, not a bad price. I just like to try and do everything on a budget, to be perfectly fair. So 125 bucks. So I'm gonna be able to do an 8x8 section for 250 bucks. So step one in this whole project is removing everything off the wall. So one thing to note is I do have water already set up in my DI system, so I'm gonna have to drain all that out, get it all set up, and then we'll be able to take it off the wall. All right, guys, now as I'm waiting for this to completely drain out so I can take it off the wall, let's go ahead and talk about some of the comparisons between the ACTUIVE wall mount and the BigBoi wall mount. So here we go. Here is the BigBoi wall mount. Again, I have had this thing up and I've had 0 issues with it. It has been great. A couple things to note. First, let's talk about the overall design and build quality. As you can see for this one, you have your hose reel portion here, and it's the good kind. So if you look in here, there's a gap that runs there and then over here, so that you can fit your hose in really nice and easily. It's not a hard bend into the hose, so I like that a lot. Overall build quality, this was something to note when I first got it. It was even like this. So the powder coating wasn't like the absolute best job, but it was tucked away. I had no issue with that at all. Now they do have mount holes on top for their pressure washers specifically. But if you have anything else, you could always drill through and adapt that, no problem. So you have your wind up here, okay? You have a nice lead to the pressure washer, so a little pickup hose there, so you don't have to deal with it. It's already there for you. You have nozzle storage on the side here. You have a little hook here where you can store a gun, and then you have your lockout mechanism, so you can actually lock it in place, and then just pull that guy back out, and then it functions again. So really, really nice build. Now, when we look at the overall dimensions of this unit, so I have a tape measure here. We're gonna go width of the shelf up top, 17 inches. Actually, just shy of that. We're gonna call it 17 inches though, just shy of 17 inches. All right, width, we're gonna call it 6. What is that, exactly 6? Just about exactly 6. They do have these dimensions on their website as well, but overall dimension from the wall out. So we're mounted there, good. And I think it says 11.75 or something like that on their website. It's looking to be 11.5-ish to me. So right there. And then overall height, which doesn't really matter, I guess, but let's just see that as well. From the bottom there up to the top, about 11.5 as well. Again, I've been extremely happy with this unit, and cost on this unit is $259, $269, I think. Again, that's just the wall mount unit itself. When we talk about the mounting points of it though, we have 4 spots, right? 4 mounting holes there in the back, and they are they're 12 inches on center. Okay, so that's it there. Now when we go over to the active unit, it actually comes with a mounting bracket, which is nice. And then and then you put some bolts in, it slides into this, you can tighten it all down, which is very, very nice. Now for mounting, for us in the States here, this is a benefit for if you're going into the studs, because the mounting holes are 16 inches on center. So as you can see there, right to 16 inches, okay? So that's nice. For me personally, that doesn't matter because I'm installing it on this wall here, which is just, it's not great. I mean, it pushes, it's not great. It's actually a thicker piece, but there's not a lot of support behind it. When I originally mounted this one, I used these little butterfly anchors, and everyone made fun of me, but they have held up perfectly well. They're amazing well, actually, for all the weight on this, plus moving it around. That one's hooked on it as well. So I'm gonna be reinstalling it with those. So the whole mounting doesn't matter as much to me versus on the active. Again, they even talk about alternative mounting options where, you know, utilizing 2x4s to get it all to fit. So back to this. You have your hose reel here. Again, it is a nice open side here. I'll show you the one on the BigBoi here in a second once I get the hose off. But one thing to note, this is a stainless steel quick connect, which is nice. The BigBoi utilizes a brass one. So you have your swivel here. Again, I don't know if the whole thing's stainless steel, but it looks great. You also have the jumper hose, which is great. Now, one thing to note, is this is an M22 by something. I don't know exactly what size. Probably an M22 by 14, I would assume. However, on the BigBoi, it was a 3/8 quick connect, which actually, was it? Or did I add that? I don't remember. But regardless, you can adapt both of them either way. Now back to this. You have the hose reel itself. You have your nozzle storage down here. You have a foam cannon storage here. It looks like a lance storage here. So they're all gusseted and really nice. You can actually just, stick things in there and it'll hold. You'll have your handle that comes off the side here. We will talk about overall dimensions of this one once I get it up on the wall. Now the powder coating job, this is a gray versus obviously the BigBoi was black. The gray is very nice, and it looks to be a really, really nice powder coat job. I have one little chip here, but overall the quality of the finish looks really, really good on this one. Additionally, on top, guys, we have a million mounting options here. So you can really kind of fine tune and get what you need, even if it is just getting a mounting point and then using a strap over to hold your pressure washer in place. This is very nice. And for me, the main benefit of why I'm switching over to this one for my test unit over there is that the top shelf is much wider. So again, I think we were 7 inches or whatever on the BigBoi, and this one is, we'll call it 10.5, I guess, from the flat points, but slightly even bigger than that. Now overall width, again, this is just a larger unit, guys, 20.5. So this is a larger unit than the BigBoi is. So if you want a nice compact design, the BigBoi may be the right choice. Again, $260, I believe, and this one is coming in at $380. So it's $120 more for this guy. Now, a couple benefits, like I said, the stainless steel quick connect. and then the additional nozzle storage and everything. So, and obviously if you're using a active machine, this whole setup looks amazing. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about the hose capacity on both of these units. They should be similar. This one, I have a 50-foot 5/16 hose on here. They state that you can run they state a 30 meter, which is 98 feet of 3/8. Now, it'll definitely, I mean, this is 50. It'll definitely be like at the very end for sure. That's gonna be a tighter fit, but they say you can do it, and they actually sell a hose that size for this unit. So additionally on the active, same thing guys, up to 100 feet of 5/16 or 3/8. So both options there, they're gonna hold the same amount of hose. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and unwind my hose now so that I can show you guys the internal structure of this hose reel and how it connects compared to the active. Okay, just a reminder, this is how the active is. It's wide open, and then you have this little bracket here that you can run it through to keep the angle set. The big boy, on the other hand, is like this. So you have your entry here, comes out here, and then it keeps it all wrapped up in position. Another thing to note is the big boy is wider with a smaller spool versus the active is more narrow, but holds more on top of itself. But again, guys, like I said, one of the big key factors here is a brass fitting versus the active. They just went a little bit more and went to the stainless steel, which is nice. All right, guys, so it's been a little bit of time. I didn't film a lot of it, but I got the slat wall up. Everything's looking great. Next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and install the active wall mount unit with the reel. But first I wanna show you guys this slat wall. So here it is. As you can see, I just used basic anchoring points in there. So you can see those sticking out pretty good right now, but again, there's nothing on the wall at this point. What I was talking about these versus the Pro Slats is I believe the Pro Slats ship in like a 1 or 2 foot section by 8 feet, I believe. I'll double check that. These ones, on the other hand, ship by a 1 or 2 foot section by 4 feet. So you can see the seam right in the middle. And I tried to butt this up as close as perfectly as I could, but you can still see it. So, it is what it is. The lighting in this camera makes this look pretty terrible. I'm telling you, in person, it actually looks super good. I'm excited to get everything on it. So let's go ahead and mount the pressure washer now. What I'm thinking is right here. Well, actually, I have a sign. Let me show you guys my sign. So my wonderful wife got me this cool, like LED neon looking sign. Super, super cool for my Quiver lineup, right? And I was thinking about, I didn't think it fit there. So I was planning on mounting it over on that slat wall. However, now that it fits there, I'm thinking about doing a black backdrop behind that and leaving it there because I think that looks super cool. I don't know what to do. So as I said, I was thinking about putting that up here, pressure washer wall mount right here, and then the DI system down there. It'll be a little bit tighter, but it'll still fit. So it could be cool to have it there, and then here I'm gonna have racks kind of shelving with the products and stuff. So I don't know, kind of a difficult decision for me. I think where I'm gonna mount this, it'll pretty much be eye level instead of up higher, so that'll be nice anyway. I think I'm just gonna run it more condensed. That way, if I do wanna put the sign above it, I'll be able to. If I don't, I could put another shelf or something. So first things first, we need to go ahead and mount this wall bracket. Basically, this will go into the studs, or if there were studs, again, my setup does not have studs. I'm just gonna have to use those anchors, and I'll show you guys. They are these ones. This is the 3/16 size. I'm gonna use the 1/4 inch size though for this. So not those exactly, but I'll link those down in the description for you. Again, I had my old setup mounted with those just in the drywall, and it held up perfectly. But these should be 16 inches on center, and then a bolt will go through the frame of the pressure washer mount, and it'll slide right onto that, and you can tighten it down. So nice and easy way to do it. What I have to figure out is, once that seats in, yeah, we'll just do it like that, okay? So once that seats in, how much more do I have so I know exactly where I want to mount this thing? All right, guys, so I've got it measured out to where I need that bracket to be. These are the anchors that I'm using. Now, again, I used these in the last video, and a lot of people said, oh, you can't use those to hold up this, especially when you're pulling the hose out and everything. I ran this for a year, no issues at all. I did have some comments in that video, also from like general contractors, and they were saying, hey, these things are incredible. So we're going with this again, because they worked for me last time. So how this works is we drill out a 1/2 inch hole, right? We just push this back, slide it in. As it goes behind the wall, this pulls out, locks against the wall. So you have the anchor point, you slide this down, and then you can screw into that. They're fantastic. So now we're just gonna go ahead and screw these in slightly, get them to hold. Actually, can I do that? Let's see here. This sits down. No, it's too big, so we're gonna have to just hold it in place and then screw them in. Now, the size of the hole on the bracket, the head of this is much, much bigger, so that's why I'm not using a washer. Now, I'm gonna screw this in. I don't wanna go too hard because I don't wanna compress this too much. And you don't wanna push because you can unseat the anchor in the back. So you just let the screwing take itself in without a bunch of pressure. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, so we're locked on nice and solid. I'm just gonna wipe this down, get the little debris off, and we're good to go. All right, so again, guys, the active wall mount system pretty much comes with everything you need. They even include, where did it go? Some anchors, like if you were going into directly into the studs. Again, I'm not, so I had to do it this way. Then they give you these points. This is what's going to attach the unit itself to the bracket. And again, these guys will just go into here. We'll leave them a little bit loose so it slides up and over that little part there, and then we can tighten it all down. All right, so I got those installed. Let's see how easy it is to slip over this. I doubt it's easy, at least to get all the washers and stuff over in place, but let's see. One person. Oh my gosh. Okay, I missed this side. I was gonna say that was too easy. All right, guys. We are in place, and I just gotta tighten it down. Looks like a 10 millimeter, but I'll find out. And yes, it is a 10 millimeter. So let me go ahead and ratchet this down, and we'll be good to go. Whoops. Solid, guys, very solid. Next up, let's go ahead and put the handle on, and then there's one other bracket piece that we can put on. So first up, the handle just slides over. Okay, so it's like that. And we have this little U clip deal. Just a little push pin with the little securing piece around it. Oh my gosh, can't get out of it. Okay, there we go. So let's back it off of there. Thread it through, pop it on, and we're good to go. So there is our, whoops, this is still loose, but that is our handle. Extremely nice handle, actually, guys, with the bearing in it. Really, really nice. The BigBoi one didn't have that. You'd kind of just have to hold it loosely. This one does spin as you go. That's nice. And now it's finally time to reattach our hose. Again, this is the QuivrFlex hose. This is the TEAL variant in 5/16. Active makes a bunch of hoses as well. Well, not a bunch, but they have a 50-foot, 75-foot, and 100-foot. Those are all 5/16 as well, but they are steel braided. This is a fiber braid, so you get that extreme flexibility and lighter weight to it. Their machines, though, they do state that they require a steel braided hose. So if you're running an active unit, use a steel braided hose. Now again, guys, for my hoses, right, I ship them with 2 female quick connects. That's the way I like it. However, these hose reels typically, like this one and the BigBoi, come with a female quick connect. So you have to set up this little adapter. Really easy. It's just a 3/8 to 3/8 male MPT on both sides, and then a male-to-male threaded MPT on the inside. So that's all you do is you go ahead and just insert it here, bingo bango, and then we're able to attach the hose to that side. All right, guys, so that actually proposes a little bit of a problem. Because this thing is narrower and the BigBoi was wider, you had more room in there to work with. This one, though, when I run my adapter, it's no good. It's no good. So I'm gonna try and see if I can replace this with a male connection instead of the female. So I cannot get that to budge, so I don't want to damage it, right? So what I'm going to do is instead I'm going to remove it from my hose. I'm going to heat this up, so there's a thread seal in here. If you heat it up, you can get it to loosen up. Just be careful, don't get the hose portion, but you can heat that up and get it to remove. So we're going to go ahead and use a torch here to remove the fitting. Now this will void your warranty, right? These are set at the factory. This will void your warranty, so just do this with caution. What we're going to do is we're going to carefully heat up this piece here. We don't want to heat any of the hose because that'll cause failure for sure. So we're going to go ahead and turn this torch on. There we go. There we go, and we're going to heat this area. What this does is it causes the metal to expand and break that seal. All right, let's see if that did it. So it's still not easy. at all, but it gets it to loosen up. Now be careful, don't touch this thing too early. Obviously you'll burn yourself. This thing's probably pretty piping hot right now. So just go, there we go, and we're off. Now we're just gonna take the little adapter that I made and disassemble this so that I have my male connection instead. Let's go ahead and put some thread seal on it, thread tape, and we'll bolt this thing together. So there we have it. We now have a male connection on the pressure washer hose. All right, and now I'll be able to get this in here and seated in there. Now, let me go ahead and do that and I'll talk to you guys in a second. All right, guys, so here it is. There it is linked in there. Comes around and we put it around this piece. It's a nice little just butterfly nut on the other end. So you can just tighten it down nice and easy. Don't need to completely crimp the thing down, but just to be able to hold it in position. One thing to note, why I like a wider hose reel is just because this is a little bit, I mean, it's fine. It's just creating a little bit more of a 90-degree angle than I would like. I would like it to be able to kind of have a little bit more of a gradual. At the end of the day though, even if it came across and then connected to this, it's gonna be a relatively 90-degree angle. So I don't actually have any issue with this. All right guys, now is the fun part. We get to reel this thing up. So let's go ahead and do it. I gotta say guys, the reel feels extremely smooth and really solid. Even the handle, how it's big, it feels like you're getting work done. So there it is, guys. This thing is really fluid. So as you can see, if you roll it up, right, with the gun on there, you let go, it's gonna unreel itself. That's how fluid this thing is. It's really, really nice. Luckily, they do have the locking mechanism right on the side here, so you just pull back, lock that in place, and it's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna reel it up a little bit more and then do that. Boom. Absolutely beautiful, freaking fantastic job, Active. This thing's great. Now there's one other spot I talked about, that an attachment that you can screw on, and I did that right here. And what that is a gun holder. So if we just disconnect our gun, you can actually place it right there. Looks fantastic. Again, the foam cannon holder just pops right in. It's just the little quick connect 1/4 inch there. Fits in there really nicely. And then you have your nozzle storage down here, enough for 4. And then again, one more attachment point up there, I'm assuming for a longer lance, because Active does have their long lance as well. All right, let's go ahead and mount the pressure washer now. Again, mine's completely naked, so I'm gonna utilize those holes to be able to use it to strap it down in a position. I'm really appreciative that they have all those different openings so that I can utilize and try and figure out the best position possible for it. So we've got the pressure washer in place, and this is where I'm coming up with an issue, and it's just in the jumper hose. And this is no fault of Active. This is made for their unit. So it mounts the way it's supposed to. For me though, I need this to be turned, right? So imagine it's coming through here. Now I don't have enough room to get it to where I want it. When I turn it, it shortens up, right? So I have to fish it around this way. And again, guys, this is no fault of Active's at all. This is, I mean, I guess they could have made it, I don't know. This is made for their unit, so no issue, no harm, no foul. I can run it outside of this, and I can turn this enough to be able to place it in and get it to work. So that's what I'm doing. It's not the ideal setup, but again, this thing was made for their units. I'll say it as many times as I need to. This thing's great. So far, I'm really, really, really loving it. I'm gonna go ahead and install the, I mean, it doesn't look the best right now because my pressure washer is a bit of a mess in its naked state. Once it's all done, again, I'm making mine to be able to mount horizontal or vertically with a cleat, but you could also put it on the shelf, and I think it would look fantastic there too. You would have to do something about the jumper hose, but no worries. Let's go ahead and now install the DI system back under it, and we should be pretty much set. So there you have it, it is all installed. Now I didn't hook up my water and things like that yet because I'm gonna do a nice kind of fitting all the way across, as opposed to in the past, like you saw in the beginning of the video, I said the bright Flexzilla garden hose. Obviously that clashes with this quite a bit, so I'm gonna make up a nice little system for that. But with that said, guys, I wanted to talk about my overall thoughts of the Active wall mount system versus the BigBoi wall mount system. I will say I think fit and finish of the Active is better. The powder coating seems really, really nice, really robust unit. Again, you have a ton of storage on it. The foam cannon, the gun, and all the nozzles. Again, they both rate at the same capacity. They say they can run a 100-foot hose at 3/8 diameter. Yeah, it looks like this one should fit it, and then the big boy, it looked like it'd be close too, but it should fit it. This one does operate a bit smoother, where you actually have to use the pin locking mechanism, otherwise it will want to run out. It's very, very smooth. The big boy, I didn't have to use that locking pin. It's nice that it's there though, they both do have it. Now let's talk about price again, overall price of these things. The big boy, 260 bucks. The Active, $380, so $120 more. What do you get for that $120 besides the fit and finish, right? $120 more. This one, you get a foam cannon mount. The big boy, you do not have that. And you also get a little extension, extension lance adapter as well that you can put in and hold there. Outside of that, the gun holder is really nice on this one, but the big boy had it as well. Same capacity, all that kind of good stuff. Overall fit and finish though, I think is where it really comes down to it, and I see why this is more expensive. It's a premium product. It's very, very nice. However, like I said, I did run the big boy for about a year. No issues with it. Absolutely bulletproof. The powder coating wasn't as nice, but again, $120 less. So I'll leave it up to you guys on which one is a better fit for you. Again, with the mounting top here, you do have more mounting points, but you can always drill into the big boy as well. But this mounting point is larger on top. More square, I'm gonna say square footage, but it's not, it's obviously small still. The big boy is just narrower, again, designed for their unit. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope that video helps you. Hopefully it helps you kind of make a decision if you're looking at one of these options. This will kind of help give you some clarity. I love both of them. I am very, very impressed with this unit though. I'm finally getting to play with it and put it up, and it's really, really nice. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.